Imagine you're a bee, making honey and protecting the hive for 100 days. For day 1, I spawned as a little baby bee next to a beehive. Yikes, I only have 3 hearts. As a bee, I can fly around. This is awesome, but where are my bee friends? I was all alone, except for a bear attacking my beehive. I didn't have any weapons to fight, except my stinger, but I didn't want to use that. Ugh, not gonna die on day 1. When I thought I flew far enough away, I ran into some wolves. Let's not do that. I flew up, keeping my distance from the wolves. I gotta find a place to hide for the night. While I was wandering around, I couldn't help but wonder, why were there no other bees at the nest? Usually there are 3 bees around each hive. I'll have to focus on that later and get some rest. I found a nice tree to spend the night on top of. On day 2, I returned to the nest, and the bear was gone. Woo! I'm hungry. I need some of these honey crystals. I decided to take the hive with me, since no one else was using it. Hopefully I could find some new bees to live with me in it. Hello? Buzz buzz! There were no bees to be found, so I spent my day gathering wood and stone, and making a set of stone tools. After that, I came across a village. Oh, a farmer. Hey, you've probably seen some bees, right? The farmer explained to me that the wildflowers around the area had been disappearing, and the bees slowly left too. I picked any flowers that I could find around the village, and then left to search for my tribe. By day 3, I had found a nice little forest to call my new home. This is perfect. I can see it now. I made a clearing in the forest and made a garden for myself. I placed down the bee's nest and gathered more honey crystals. This is so sweet. Suddenly, I grew into an adult bee with 5 hearts. Only 2 more hearts. Okay. So, I finally built a little hive to call home. It ain't much, but it's mine. That night, I started hearing horrible groaning noises. I can't use my stinger. I've only got 97 days left to go. So I had to use my sword I crafted yesterday. This'll have to do. Yeah, take that. There's so many zombies. I made bees small, but I'm still capable of big things. With the undead threat abated, I could finally get some much-needed shut-eye. On days 4 and 5, I explored the world, gathering wildflowers and searching for other bees. Suddenly, I ran into the bear I saw earlier. Whoa, where'd you come from? He demanded that I give him honey so he could give it to his boss. No way, I'm not gonna give you honey for free. And why does your boss want it so bad? Who is he? And that bear hit so hard, since I'm really fragile. Luckily, since I could fly, I was easily able to outmaneuver him. Hey-ya! Dive bomb attack! Take this! It took a while, but my little hits added up, and I was able to kill the bear. Woo! That was exhausting. At least I didn't have to use my stinger. That would have been bad. I flew away to search for more bees, but I still had questions about the bear's boss. Finally, I came across a forest with a bee's nest. Yes, I found one. Hello? Is anyone home? Guys! I waited at the nest to see if any bees would come back home. But when night fell, I knew it was deserted. From days 6 to 8, I carefully took down the beehive to bring it home. And you'll be coming with me. On my way home, I found a cave. A little mining couldn't hurt. While down there, I found flint, coal, and iron. Once I got home, I crafted some furnaces, smelted the iron, and crafted an iron axe, pickaxe, sword, as well as some shoes. By then, night had fallen, and I could hear noises coming from outside the base. Looks like I have company. They didn't seem to like what I was doing. Please, guys, I don't want any trouble. They left me no choice, so I fought back with my sword. Well, at least I can craft a bow using this string. I just need feathers for arrows. But that was future me's problem, and I was tired, so I went to bed. For days 9 and 10, I went searching for chickens and found them in a village. I'm sorry, but I have to kill you for your feathers. I killed them all, and they gave me feathers, as well as some meat, which I didn't really need. I also picked up their eggs. I'll take these to my base. Hopefully some will hatch, and I can start a chicken farm. On my way home, I saw a monster, and it was attacking a beehive. Oh no, I have to save my brothers. Before I could attack, a baby bee stopped me. But that beast is taking our family! The little bee was right. I wasn't strong enough to fight the beast. So we hid, and we watched it capture 2 bees and walk away. What was that thing? She told me that the beast bear was stealing bees and collecting all the honey they make for himself. I offered for the bee to come live with me. Now that her friends were taken, we could partner up. Hey, what do people call you? All right, I'll name you Abby then. Get it? On days 11 through 14, I got home with my new friend, and I extended my base upward to make a home for her. Since we can fly, there's no need for staircases to get up higher. Of course, Abby. I'm glad you like it. When night fell, I was suddenly reminded that I still hadn't put torches around my island. Oh no, skeletons! Get back, you fleshless freaks! No, don't! If you use your stinger, you'll die! While Abby distracted the skeletons, I went inside to craft a honey shield so I could protect myself. Try and get us now, skeletons! Oh, that didn't work very well. The honey shield was gonna break super quickly, but it was enough to protect us for this night. Once all the skeletons were dead, I added torches around the island so we wouldn't have any more surprise attacks. Perfect! Everything's lit, except for the other island over there. I'll let the mobs have that one. We dug out a mine shaft and went mining for iron so I could complete my armor set. After that, I remembered that I had eggs from earlier. So Abby and I built a modest chicken farm and tried to hatch some chickens. Only one of you? Well, I guess that's better than none. Welcome to the island, little guy. Abby loved all the flowers that we had on the island, but they didn't really feel like a garden. So we cut down most of the trees and planted the flowers in groups according to their colors. This place looks a lot nicer. I think there's one more thing we need though. I went inside and crafted a bucket with some leftover iron and used it to form a pond. I know, right? It really feels like we're making a home. Satisfied with our work, we both settled into our homes for the night. On the night of day 15, I had a strange dream. I was in a bizarre bee dimension, and there was the beast bear sitting atop a throne of honey. It's you! You're the one who took those bees!
Yes, it is me, your soon-to-be master. I am enslaving all the bees and collecting all their honey for myself.
This is wrong! I won't let you get away with this. The beast bear didn't react. He just laughed at me.
Morality is for those who lack the power to enact their own visions. People like you.
I woke up in a cold sweat, but tomorrow I will be ready to begin my journey in finding the other bees before he does. On days 16 through 19, I got some great news from Abby. She told me to fly to the east to find a bee farm. How did you find out about this? Oh, okay. I decided not to ask her any more questions and followed the map until I reached my destination. But when I looked around, there weren't any bees anywhere. Hello? Is there supposed to be a bee farm? Hey, you! Where are all the bees?
It's a miracle! One of my bees has come home!
Oh, I think you're mistaking me for someone else. Is this your place?
Yep, I'm the ringmaster around here, or at least I was before all my bees abandoned me.
The beekeeper explained that his bees used to be the most talented performers in the world. But one day, he woke up and they were all missing.
They needed me, and I needed them. I'd give anything to feel that way again.
Well, how about you train me? I could be like one of your amazing bees too.
You mean it? All right, let's get started.
The beekeeper showed me precision flying by having me fly through hoops. Then I dodged arrows that he shot at me so I could get better at evading attacks. Finally, we practiced melee combat using swords. When it was all over, he took me into a room full of steam for some meditation, where I gained another 5 hearts. Oh my gosh, I actually got stronger from training. Thank you, Mr. Beekeeper.
There is a legendary sword out there, once wielded by the bees of old, called the Sting.
Wow, do you have any idea where it is?
Nope, not at all.
Oh, I thanked the beekeeper for my training and then left, heading home to tell Abby everything I'd learned. From days 20 to 22, rain started to come down hard. It's nearly impossible to fly in this weather. I guess I'll have to walk the rest of the way home. I heard a familiar hissing sound, turned around, and looked up. Creepers! Aw, man! I tried to fight, but every time I got close, they exploded. I need to keep my distance. Oh, hey, I killed that one. I couldn't die here. Abby was waiting for me. The storm suddenly stopped, and I flew the rest of the way home. Abby! 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 I told Abby all about the farm, the beekeeper, and the sting. I wanted to start building a bee statue near the base, but I didn't have any wool, so I needed to find some sheep. I discovered a small flock of sheep grazing in a pasture. I brought them back to the base by luring them with wheat. Once we got back to the base, I built them a small enclosure to live in, then left to find cocoa pods to make brown dye with. Finally, I dyed some of the sheep brown and some of them yellow. Hey, sheep! While I have you here, did you know that only 10.5% of our viewers are subscribed and a part of the Bronzo family? You can click the red subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a new video. On days 23 through 27, our base was attacked by a bear. Ah! I thought being on an island would keep us safe from bears. No! He can't find us! Abby, help me fight this bear! Abby and I charged into battle together. I even used the new sword fighting techniques that I learned from the beekeeper. Never! I'll do anything to protect this world's bees. A few more blows, and we killed the bear. When it died, it dropped power gloves on the ground. A magic item that increased damage dealt by the wearer. Wow! That bear couldn't beat us even with these bad boys. The sunrise was coming, but I wanted to test out the power gloves, so I flew to the desert to hunt some husks. The power glove gave me extra leverage, since flying made my melee attacks weaker. Take that! Yeah! Buzz off! It worked really well, but I still needed to craft a better shield, so I flew home to do that. There we go. Good old-fashioned iron and wood. Much stronger than a shield made out of sugar. Suddenly, I heard a strange honking sound coming from outside. I charged out, ready to defend my island. Who are you? Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. The geese explained to me that they'd lost their home when the beast bear attacked a bee's nest nearby. I told them they were more than welcome to live on our island, and Abby and I got to work building them a nice little home on the beach. For days 28 to 32, I wanted to learn more about the sting, and the goose had some information for me. They told me that this bee colony was where the queen bee lives. Maybe they know about the stinger. So I set off to look for the bee colony. But as I was traveling, I came across a rude snapping turtle. None shall pass. I'm just trying to find the bee colony. Do you know where that is? None shall pass. Then you leave me no choice. We started fighting, and they had a very tough bite. Take this! Ow! Ow! Ooh. Fly up! Fly up! Get back here and fight me like a man! Wait, you can't jump up to me. You're a cheat and a scoundrel. You have not seen the last of me. I flew away from the snapping turtle. I had no time for him and needed to find the bee colony. On days 33 through 36, I finally found a nest with bees inside. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to meet you guys. Do you know anything about the bee colony? But before we could leave, the beast bear showed up. Oh no, everyone try to hide. I gave the beast bear my best fight, but it wasn't enough. It didn't even try to fight back.
You're punching above your weight class. Pathetic bee.
I couldn't stop him from kidnapping my new bee friends. No, let them go, please. The beast bear completely ignored me and lumbered away, dragging the bees behind them. I felt powerless as I flew home to Abby. You don't understand. It was such a mismatched fight. I'll never stand a chance against them. Abby tried to cheer me up, but I was still feeling defeated when I went to bed. I was woken up by Abby on days 37 through 40 to start on the bee statue. She had been collecting wool for the statue, so we started with the base of the bee. Since I'm basically a rectangular prism, this will be a simple build, but I want it to be massive. Get it? Bee? Because I'm a bee? We had enough wool to get the bottom of the body done. Next, I wanted to expand the base, changing the shack to look like a giant tree, starting with the trunk and roots. I made a few rooms on the inside and multiple levels. This is just the start. It will get taller, and I'll add leaves. I placed the bee nests outside the base, but I felt like we needed more of them to match the size of the trunk. Come on, Abby, we gotta find more bee nests. Let me stick with the puns, Abby. We were able to find a few abandoned bee nests, which was kind of depressing, knowing that Beast Bear took the bees that used to live here. I need to focus and be more determined on defeating that monster and freeing all the bees. We made it back home and placed the bee nests on the base of the trunk. There we go. It looks great. On days 41 through 43, I headed out to find more bees, but instead, I met a strange woman named Alex. Have we met before? You seem familiar.
Nope, I don't think so, but could you help me?
She explained that her home was being threatened by a little Kato, and she needed someone to defeat them. She even offered me an enchanting book of efficiency if I could take it down. You got it, lady. I'm in. I mean, it's a little Kato. How tough is it gonna be? I followed Alex's direction until I found the monster. You may be little, but you're kind of scary. Okay, well, I'll teach you a lesson. You can't keep people out of their homes. We fought hard, and I thought I might be in over my my head, but I knew I was in it for a good reason. It's time to finish you off. Yes! With the little Kato slain, I headed back to Alex to tell her the good news.
Thanks. Wow, who knew a little bee could be so strong? Here's the book I promised you.
Oh, awesome. Hey, I was wondering, you like jazz?
I think you should leave now.
I headed home with my prize and went down the mine shaft to get some iron. That ought to be enough. I even found some diamonds while I was down there. I came home and smelted the iron ore, crafted an anvil, made a diamond sword and pickaxe, and I used the enchanted book to give my new diamond pickaxe efficiency 4. Awesome! This is gonna be great for mining. On days 44 to 49, I continued my search for bees and found myself in a snowy tundra. I don't think I'll find any bees out here in the cold. What's that in the distance? Some polar bears came over to get my attention. Oh, you've heard of me, huh? Then you know I won't go down easily. The polar bears attacked, and even though they were fast, I was able to dodge their attacks. You bears should learn to fight smarter than that. I was able to take down 2 of the polar bears, but the third one got away. I would have chased it down, but it started snowing, which meant I couldn't fly. I guess I'll wait out the storm in this cave. In the cave, I stumbled across another bee who was being attacked by wolves. Hey, leave him alone. Together, the bee and I were able to take down all the wolves. Sure thing. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know anything about the bee colony, would you? He offered to help me find it, but first we had to rest for the night, so we hunkered down in the cave together. On days 50 through 53, my new friend and I left the tundra towards the bee colony. But on the way, we ran into the snapping turtle I fought earlier. Not you again. I was going to say the same thing. We fought the snapping turtle together, and having extra help made a huge difference. We took him down easily and continued on our way. After a long flight, we finally arrived at the bee colony. Whoa, this place is amazing. My bee companion guided me back to the colony, and I met the bee I'd been searching for, my queen. I'm scared for the future of our species. The beast bear threatens to wipe us all out.
Be calm, little one. My army will defeat this beast bear you speak of.
I was led away from the queen, and some bees taught me how to make blocks of honey, bee nests, honeycomb, and honeycomb blocks. Wow, I never knew there was so much we bees could make. On days 54 through 57, I journeyed all the way back home to show Abby everything the bees had taught me, and to tell her the good news about the Queen's army. She seemed really excited. Oh, that's a great idea! I love how creative you are! Together, Abby and I continued building the trunk of the tree, adding honeycomb and honey blocks to make it feel more like a giant bee's nest. We even started adding leaves to the top of it. Wow, this place is so much bigger than the little shack was. Imagine we had a ton of bees living here, like at the Queen's Palace. While we were admiring our work, Alex arrived on our island with a quest for me.
Hey there, little bee. I was wondering if you could help me again. I need some gold for a trip to the Nether. Could you mine it for me?
You got anything to make it worth my while?
You know I do.
I agreed and set off down the mine shaft again. I found plenty of gold for Alex, plus some diamonds for myself. Before long, I headed back to the surface.
Oh, thanks. This is super helpful of you. And as promised, here's another enchanting book.
Sweeping edge. That seems worth it. Here's your gold.
Sweet. Catch you later.
I headed back inside to craft an axe and put my new enchantment on my sword. On days 58 through 62, Abby and I continued working on the bee statue, finishing the shape and the basic colors. It's looking pretty good, but we need more shades of yellow and brown. So I journeyed to the Badlands to get brown shades of terracotta. I stayed out late, and some Endermen spawned. Huh? Oh no! I looked into its eyes! I figured it would be a good opportunity to try fighting against something that was as fast and flighty as me, so I killed as many as I could before dawn. Alright, it's time to head home. I flew back and found an unexpected visitor when I arrived. It's the polar bear that got away earlier! The polar bear told me that I led it straight to the bee colony, and it told the beast bear exactly where it was. If you were there, then you saw how many bees lived there. How could you sentence them all to slavery? Yeah! I fought the polar bear with a vicious hatred for what he'd done. As soon as his body hit the ground, I headed back to the bee colony, hoping I wasn't too late to warn them of their impending doom. I got back to the colony on days 63 to 66, and it was in ruins. Oh no, I'm too late! Only a few bees were left. Where's the queen bee? Now with the queen bee gone and imprisoned by the beast bear, it was up to me to save her. I need to find the sting, now more than ever. I searched all kinds of biomes, like the savannah, where I talked to kangaroos, and they knew nothing about the sting. Neither did the seals in the tundra, or the badgers in the dark forest. I even found a mushroom field, where I met a mushroom. Oh wow, can I get some soup? Man, I really wish I would have met one of you when I was a cow for 100 days. That was definitely a missed opportunity. I then made it to the jungle, where I asked a tiger if it had any knowledge on the sting, but they didn't seem interested in chatting. I had to fight the tiger, and this jungle cat was tough. Don't mess with bees! I left the jungle, continuing my search for the weapon of the bees. By day 67 through 70, I met a lone witch hiding out in a swamp. She said she had heard about the legendary sting and would tell me where it is, but there was a catch.
The knowledge you seek is valuable indeed. For this to be fair, I must ask something of you.
I really need that weapon. Just say the word, and it's done.
Slay the mighty Matthias. Do this for me, and you will have the information you seek.
Just wait right here. Hold tight. Don't go anywhere. I'll have the beast dead in no time. When I reached the Matthias' lair, I moved swiftly so I could get the jump on it. Hiya! Wait. Whoa. Oh gosh. Okay, you're strong. Doing the wither effect. I'm barely doing anything. Retreat. Retreat. I was no match for her. I had to escape. I can't beat her, which means I can't get the info from the witch. What do I do now? I left to find the only person I could think of at the time, the beekeeper.
Welcome back, Bronzo.
Hi, Mr. Beekeeper. I need some advice. He sat me down and told me that true strength comes from knowing your limits. So if I want to beat the Matthias, I need to ask for help?
Exactly. Do you have anyone in mind?
Abby, will you help me defeat the Matthias? Without a moment's hesitation, Abby agreed. Yes, all right, let's not waste any time. On day 71 through 74, I returned with Abby to fight the Matthias. I'm back, and this time, we're not backing down. Abby and I gave it everything we had, and slowly but surely, we chopped away at the Matthias' health bar. Come on, Abby, we got this. Finally, we were able to take her down. We did it! With our mission accomplished, Abby went home, and I headed back to the witch's hut to tell her I completed my end of the deal.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, I thought that wretched ex of mine would never die. Oh, well, you've earned your prize. I'll tell you what I know about the sting.
She said that someone had actually found the lost legendary sword and that they were guarding it.
He is known as the Beast Bear.
Oh, seriously? He's the last person I wanted to have it. I wasn't ready to face the beast bear yet, but the witch told me where I could find him once I was. It was a dimension called the Bumble Zone, once only accessible to bees, but the beast bear invaded their world and kept them captive there.
You'll need ender pearls to enter the world. Just throw them at a bee's nest.
All right, thanks for your help, and sorry about your ex. I left to fight some more endermen because I didn't have any ender pearls from the last time I fought them. After I collected enough, I headed home. For days 75 to 78, I was not ready to leave my home yet. This world needs more of my help, and I'm not yet sure how to get back home once I enter the Bumble Zone. So I needed something to do while I collected my thoughts. I know, I'll finish the statue. I filled in the shading, replacing some of the wool with terracotta and concrete powder for the brown and yellow. I made the wings out of cobwebs to give it a transparent effect. Yeah, if I was 20 blocks wide. Next, Abby and I worked on the tree base, adding the leaves and decorating the inside more. It feels like something from Lord of the Rings. I love it. While I was looking over all my hard work, a familiar monster approached the base. What the? You're a big gato. I was startled so much and so ready for a fight that I grew into a buff bee. Look how many hearts I have. And what's this? I got a new weapon, the bee blaster. I could shoot needles, almost like an infinite amount of bee stings. You're going down. The big Kato was no match for me now. I was so overpowered, though he did put up a great fight and blinded me a few times. But I came out victorious. Yes, I won. The big Kato dropped a journal, which I looked over. It said that he had gotten closer to cracking the secrets of the bee universe. That must be the Bumble Zone. The journal also gave directions to the big Kato's base. Maybe he left some more answers there. So I set off to find his old home. I made it to the big Kato's home base on days 79 through 84, looking for any clues I could find on how to escape the Bumble Zone after I've gone inside. Dang it, there's nothing here. Just then, I was interrupted by a black bear.
I see you are also searching for answers to the Bumble Zone.
Are you here to kill me for the Beast Bear?
The Beast Bear? He's a lunatic and a villain. I would never work for him. I too want to defeat him and free the bees and bring honey back to this world for all to enjoy, especially me.
It seemed that this bear had good motives, but I didn't trust him. He is a bear after all. But we decided to search together for any clues or notebooks. I searched every chest and every barrel for any information that might help me, but all I found was a bunch of junk. There's gotta be something here. Suddenly, I heard the bear roar from across the house, so I rushed over to him.
Oi! I found a notebook. It says how the Beast Bear is able to travel through dimensions.
Really? Let me see.
Why? So you can free the bees. With this, I'll be able to rule them and have all the honey for myself.
I knew you were up to no good. I fought the bear, knowing I could overpower him. And if he dies, he'll drop the book.
Oh, I know when I'm defeated. I surrender. But if I can't have this notebook, then no one can.
Wait, what are you doing? The bear threw the book into the fireplace, destroying all the information I needed. How could you? I swung at the bear, killing it with my rage. I'm running out of time. I need to save my fellow bees, and soon. I went home empty-handed, disappointed that I didn't make any progress with this trip. On days 85 through 89, I realized that if the big Kato had some information about the Bumble Zone, other people might too. So I journeyed back to my old mentor, the beekeeper.
I thought you'd never come back.
Well, you're the best bee expert I know, and I've got some bee questions. I asked him if he knew anything about the Bumble Zone, particularly on how to get out once you've entered, but he didn't seem to have any information about it. As far as he knew, a beehive was just a beehive, not a portal to a different world.
But I thought my bees loved me as much as I loved them. How could they keep this bee dimension a secret from me?
I'm sure they did love you. Listen, beekeeper, if I find a way out of the Bumble Zone, I'll send all your bees back home to you.
Really? That would mean so much to me. You can call me Greg, little bee.
I thanked Greg and flew away to find answers elsewhere. For the days of 90 through 94, I traveled to a village and found that they were in distress. They told me that the scarcity of bees meant they weren't around to pollinate crops, and because of this, the village was running out of food. I'll bring you food from another village. I traveled all around, from village to village, but everyone I met was facing the same problem. So I went back home to the base to speak to Abby. Come with me. You have to pollinate as many crops as you can. Save the people before they starve. It was a start, but Abby couldn't hold those villages over all by herself. There's got to be more I can do. Something other than going to the Bumble Zone before I'm ready. The villager told me about a nearby mushroom town that had been taken over by strange, evil cows. There would surely be enough mushrooms there to keep the towns fed a while longer. I flew towards it as fast as my wings could take me. By days 95 to 96, the end of my journey was on the horizon, but I had found the mushroom town, but it was guarded by piglins dressed as mushrooms riding cows. All right, time to invade and take all the mushrooms for the villagers! I attacked the guards, and there were a lot of them, which made breaking their spawners very difficult. Will you just die so I can have the mushrooms? It was a long fight that seemed to go on through the night, but finally, I killed them all and could start collecting the mushrooms. Gotta get as many as I can carry. I took all the mushrooms I had collected back to one of the villages I had visited. The villager promised to use the mushrooms to make mushroom soup and share it with all the other villages in the area. Thanks, we'll get through this if we all do our part. I felt better after helping them, but it wasn't enough. I left with a new sense of resolve. I'd figure out how to get out of the Bumble Zone later, but I needed to go in now. On days 97 through 98, I arrived home and found Abby. Abby, I have to go into the Bumble Zone. The world needs its bees. We're out of time. I might not. I could tell Abby was trying to be strong for me. I was about to tell her how proud I was to be her friend, but our goodbye was interrupted by a bear. You can't be serious! I could take you down easily! But Abby decided to take charge. She flew up and started fighting the bear on her own. I was so proud of her and watched her fight this beast of a bear, but tragedy struck. No! Abby! I was frozen with shock and sadness, but I had to keep moving, or her sacrifice would mean nothing. I used an ender pearl to enter the Bumble Zone. Whoa, this looks just like the place from my dream. I searched all around for the bear, or for bees that I could help escape. Finally, I found the queen, locked up in a cage. Your Highness, let me help you out of there.
Thank you, little one. Now we haven't much time. Follow me. I can send my servants. They're this way.
The queen led me through the Bumble Zone, but I couldn't help feeling that something awful was going to happen. On day 99, the queen led me straight to the center of the Beast Bear's operations. There are bees everywhere.
Here, take these leads and stealthily gather as many bees as you can.
Yes, my queen. I was now on a covert mission, and I started gathering bees left and right. But then the Beast Bear started looking around.
I smell something extra sweet.
He started sniffing and was right above me. Maybe if we just stay down here and be really quiet, stay still and stop moving me.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
I was shocked that worked, and the Beast Bear left, so I continued gathering up bees. Okay, this is as many bees as I can hold. Let's get you back to the queen. I met up with her in a safe place, and she had gathered a few bees as well.
Great job, Bronzo. You have done your queen proud. And for your help, we have a gift for you. Jeremy?
One of the bees gave me an enchanted sword. Is this what I think it is?
Yes, this is the sting. You deserve to wield it, Bronzo. You are the chosen one.
I will not let you down. The bee told me that he had tried to wield the sting himself, but his training with Greg was not enough. It takes perseverance and a strong will. Thank you. Go back to Greg. He misses you a lot. Like, a lot. It was time to say my goodbyes to the queen and the other bees.
Any last words before we go, Bronzo?
Oh yes, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video and comment what mob I should be for my next 100 days video. Also, check out my other videos if you're new here. I was a cow most recently, and that video is a lot of fun. I had to fight aliens. On day 100, I entered the Beast Bear's honey base.
I thought I smelled something strange going on.
I've freed the bees from your prison. Now, it's just time to destroy you!
I'd like to see you try.
The grand battle began. I used the sting to knock him back, as well as poison him. My blaster got aerial shots on him as I dodged his attacks in an evasive maneuver.
You fight well for a bee, but my skin is tough. There may be only one way you can defeat me.
I'll never use my stinger on you. I want to make sure you die, and I live.
Oh, one of us will be dying, but not me.
We continued our fight, and the Beast Bear used his claws to really hurt me. But with the power of the sting, I struck the final blow.
No!
I did it! The world is safe once more!